Hi everyone. This is a quick demonstration of my program that I've been working on called Voxelbrush, which is a sculpting program for VR. So when you start up the program, you have a green ball on one of your controllers, the right-hand controller, and you can just use the trigger button to draw in 3D space. So it will make a volumetric mesh of whatever you draw. Okay, so if we look down at the controllers, there's some tooltips which will tell you the other types of things that you can do with the controller buttons. One thing that's not totally obvious is that uh, if you hold down the grip buttons on both controllers and you pull the controllers apart or bring them together, you can zoom in and out of your model. So this is pretty fun to do. You can also use this double grip button functionality to rotate your model if you hold down both grip buttons and you rotate the controllers around each other. As you would expect, you can change the brush size, and that's done by uh, clicking up or down on the controller. And there's a limited range for brush sizes that you're allowed to use at the moment. Another thing you can do is use undo and redo. So this is quite handy. So this is left and right click on the non-drawing controller. So that's another important basic function of the program. You can bring up a menu by clicking the menu button on the left controller. That's the button above the trackpad. And that will show you some basic tools you can use. By default, you draw with the brush. But if you go into subtract mode, you can also subtract shapes from your mesh, which is pretty important for sculpting. Under the options screen, it just lets you choose how the model is rendered. So if you don't like this wireframe view that you get by default, you can switch to the solid view. And it will just show you the model without the wireframe on top. Lastly, if you want to save your model, you can go to the save screen and there's a bunch of thumbnails here. So each thumbnail represents a different save file. So if you want to create a new one, you click Save New, and then this dialog comes up, which is basically a little camera. So you position your model so you get a nice screenshot of your model, and then you click and that becomes the thumbnail for your save file. So if I go back to the save and load screen again, there's a new entry at the bottom here, and that was the file I just saved. Okay, so that's a basic overview of what you can do with Voxelbrush right now. Thanks.